and welcome to Bendat Stadium here in Perth, WA, who are playing host to the Australian Men's and Mixed Netball Championships. We have got round number 5 for the 23 and under division here, and we are playing host to the Bingham Cup match, the decider between South Australia and their home state, West Coast Thunder. My name is Mandy Love, and joining me today is Mark Gorham, who purposely shows me his name because I forgot yesterday, and it's so terrible of me to do that. Mark, how are you this morning?
Very well, thanks. Apologies to those at home. Got a bit of a croaky voice, having just coached a game, but here we are. Looking forward to this one.
Very successful 17s matchup against the West Coast Thunder lads. So if you can just run us through the starting lineup for South Australia, please.
Certainly. So in goal shooter, we've got Bailey Hobson. In goal attack, Will Sampson. Wing attack, Saxon Hay. Centre is Jacob Searle. In the wing defence position, we have Chad Nelson. Goal defence, Freddie Taylor, and in goalkeeper, the captain, Ethan Ashworth.
Yeah, for the Thunder lads, we've got in goalkeeper Mitch Bayless, goal defence Wade Moore, wing defence Ben Cole, centre Declan Mensing, wing attack is Corey Goss, goal attack Jaden Kahutia, and goal shooter Max Denham.
As West Coast get us off with the first goal, we see South Australia taking their first centre pass, just struggling to get over that transverse line. They're over now thanks to the drive of Hay, who looks in, and that front cut to Sampson, getting very close to the baseline, but popping that high arcing shot up, and we're 1-1 here. Mandy, tell us, are there any players in particular we should keep an eye on? Who's going to be the game breaker for Western Australia?
At the moment, looking on court, there's probably 2 players in mind. I think goal shooter Max Denham. Yep. He's definitely one to look out for. Very accurate shooter, switches between the post-up shooter and the mobile moving circle. So he's definitely one to look at. And from the defensive end, you can't go past Wade Moore. He's having a fantastic tournament so far. So expect big things from him down the defensive end. And what about you for South Australia?
There's a couple of players here. So we've got a couple of players. As we see one right there, Saxon Hay just getting that centre pass. So we've got a couple of Australian players who have played in either 20s or 23s. Held ball there, great pressure by Western Australia. So I'm looking at Saxon Hay in wing attack, who I believe is 19, but was selected in the 23s Australian team last year. Part of that Trans-Tasman. His teammate, Jacob Searle, who I also play with on a Monday night. It's great to play with. And Freddie Taylor in goal defence. So I probably named half the team, Mandy. But big raps on Freddie. Coached him last year, and he's a young 17-year-old playing up in this 23s division. Super excited to see him do his thing out here.
Yeah, we've got a lot of our Thunder athletes in the 23s team who actually participate in the WA Netball League in our men's competition. So I expect a lot of the experience provided from the one-all environment to translate to the Nationals environment.
Excellent. So WA have got the jump here, 3-1 in their centre pass. Nice deep drive there. Unfortunately, just not controlling that one, and that one going over the goal line. Yeah,
so that's Goss. So he's quite lanky, so hopefully we can see them pull that back in next time the ball travels down the Thunder end.
Yeah. So South Australia just taking a while to transition out. Good vision by Freddie, but unfortunately overshooting that pass to Nelson, and it's a turnover.
I think they both didn't realise who was actually going to take that pass, so the miscommunication there from the Dragons.
So let's see Thunder work it through, using straight into that attacking third and patiently resetting.
And just simple lines. Oh, great step through from the defence.
That's Jacob Searle, the one I'm looking for. Bailey Hobson there, unfortunately, out of the circle. Sometimes a bit foreign for a tall shooter to be out that far.
And I really like this combination with Jaden Kahutia and Max Denham. What a lot of players do, they sort of underestimate the likes of a Jaden Kahutia in goal attack, but you can't sleep on him because he is the creator down that front end.
South Australia restarting here, 4-1 down. Looking behind before he looks forward there, Sampson. But we've got it through, and there we go. Great feed by Hay.
Yeah,
and Hobson finishes off.
All trolling down that far end of the court. It was nicely done, like no cross-court passes, nothing for the defence to really get a hand to. Just simple lines, isn't it? Oh, just a push pass. Keeps it in. Oh.
And Ashworth keeps that in. I thought he danced on that line, but it worked.
You've got to play to the call. Time is held as the ball spills over from court number 2.
So South Australia using the sideline a lot here. And here we go. Well, both shooters moving into the same space. Swing to the top.
They're storming circle edge too. Not comfortable on that range.
No.
And Bayless gets around, has a crack at it. And great shooting technique from the goal attack for the Dragons.
So that's Will Sampson. He's sort of new to the program, but as a country boy, actually, he lives a few hours from Adelaide. And I know he was following last year's Nationals quite keenly. He had a bit of a chat with me about how the 17s went, and super keen netballer, and great. He's now moved down for uni, so very much involved. So looking forward to seeing him in his first Nationals debuting. Bailey Hobson, the goal shooter, also debuting at this level. Has played a bit of indoor netball, but a debutant as well for the Southern Dragons.
I think for me, Kahotia, Perella and Denham, and also their captain, Mike McCoach, who's on the sideline at the moment, and Davis have all played in last year's 23 team, so they've pretty much kept their spine with the addition of a few extras. So Wade Moore comes into the fray this year, being his first AMMNA champs, but he has been present at the indoor champs, so not a stranger to a Nationals environment, but probably not in an open court space.
Yep. I'm really looking forward. I see Daniel Preller on the bench, so having coached him prior in an Australian team, as a step on there and good touch by Taylor, but looking forward to seeing Daniel Preller if he gets on in this game.
Would have liked to see Denham rip that ball in. He went up for a clean contest, and there's Declan Mensing. He will be up in everything. He is a bit ginger to get up.
So that high cross-court ball is really setting teammates up there.
He does hit the deck, so looking for a towel if we can, just to get some perspiration off the floor.
As we catch our breath after the first 5 minutes, 5-5 here.
And in that moment, it looks like Jack Davis has come on in the centre role for the Thunder. And great hold. Really had a good understanding of his space and where the defenders were in relation to the pass. So Dragons hitting the lead, 6-5.
Well, came off that screen there. They were setting a screen, came off it, but...
And in this dead ball time, I'd want to see Thunder really push the Dragons up court.
Yep.
Instead of allowing them just to go where they want to start naturally. And good cover, but good connection. Hey, Bayless gets a little touch in there.
Just have to put that into space a little bit more.
Hobson's a really sort of big target for the Dragons at the back there at the post.
There he is.
And there's
great elevation.
And gets the offensive contact call too, being in front position. Bayless, who can he connect to? Finds Moore, does the pirouette. And Davis, how can he go? Goes to Cole. Patient work down court and held ball. Needed to release the Kahotia when he saw him, and he just didn't release.
As soon as you balk it twice, that's a key for an umpire for a held ball. Oh.
And nice pressure from Cole. Did enough to get the turnover. They're travelling really close to the sideline. Would like someone to centre it.
Yes.
And Cole does that on cue. Denham well out of the circle. So open circle at the moment. So that means that both shooters outside as they work themselves back in.
A lot of short passes happening.
Oh, I thought that was almost clean from up here.
It's very
Obviously,
close.
There must have been a toe over the centre, over the goal circle. Oh, double team.
That was as soon as that went up, I thought that's a pretty risky one. He was double teamed and he was holding very close to the post, and as we saw, a turnover now. So here's the Dragons through Nelson, transitioning through attack.
And Davis, he will hustle all day.
So Jacob Sell probably just needing to drive that little bit more. I will talk about Jacob. I do play with him. More of a natural wing defence, goal defence. Has spent some time there in the centre position. So learning that position and always improving at it. But we may expect to see him maybe go back into defence at some point. As big hands over the shot, doesn't quite drop. Hobson's just not ripping that in with two hands and over the baseline for a WA throw-in.
And Bayless connects in with Moore. Finds Davis sideline. And they're just sort of jammed here in the middle. Great defensive pressure from the Dragons. Saw it earlier in your 17s match. They like to have the mid-court press, forcing wide, and they're just patient delivery down the court. And Denham rolling front. Got to honour that front ball. Yes, and gets the contact drawn. He'll put that ball down and reset as look for the offload from Kahotia. Oh, good footwork from the defence. That is Taylor and GD. Yeah. Really nice footwork, trying to hedge around the body.
Yeah, he's quite nimble, Freddie. Loves a float, and if he sees ball, he will attack it if he thinks he's a chance. Actually was selected in the 17s Australian team, so went over and played that, and then got the call up due to some injury to step up and play 20s in the Trans-Tasman. So he's had some some awesome experience there. Can swing both ends, so we may see him in goals at some point as well.
That's very interesting.
He trialled originally with the Dragons as an attacker and a shooter a couple of years ago. Played defence in the 17s last year, and in this team he's a defender but has the ability to go forward. So look forward for that to happen if it does.
And Cole just called out for the body contact along the centre pass receipt. And just eyes up from the defenders as well and just get called for the obstruction.
Sampson's looking a little bit hesitant from that mid-range. I think he just needs to put a couple up in play to make the defenders get their distance and draw them back and then do his work. A couple of times the head's not turning, the hips aren't turning, and it's keeping the defender up on his body. So put a couple up, Will.
Very pretty play from the West Coast Thunder. 3-pass play into a goal. That's what you like to see. It looked like it might have been a bit of a set play.
Absolutely. So we see a screen set there and the deep drive into the pocket. Very well done. And great front cut by Will. This is the one to get yourself involved. Fantastic, Will, to pop that one through. Great goal attack move, driving front on that cut.
Going goal for goal at the moment. 8-all.
We did expect this one to be a close one. This game contested last year was a goal difference. I remember attending it in Adelaide. I felt like it was an 8 p.m. night match. It was within 3 or 4 goals. I think WA kicked out to a lead. SA pulled it back, and it was won in the last sort of 30 seconds or so. So it was a highlight, definitely, of a game to watch last year. So I expect this to be close and contested.
Very fortunate. Goss actually stepped on. And if the ball spilling onto court, we might get called for a footwork call. But Denham under the post, he's not going to miss from there.
And we are going goal for goal. It's a South Australian centre pass here.
So what do we look for in terms of defensive pressure from both sides, just to who breaks this game open? I'm liking
Western Australia's one-on-one contest, as we see a lucky one go to Hobson. For me, Hayes is doing quite a bit of work in that wing attack, so whether that centre drops back on a centre pass to force the goal attack out, as we see Sampson lining up.
And just obstruction on the landing, so he needs to sort of go on the other side, or not directly in front of the shooter. Just a slight adjustment.
As we see 9-all now. Oh, we've got a Tassie player on the court. No, we're not holding time, umpire. Well, that's a bit unfortunate for Western Australia.
Just an extra player there to
not
look
only
around.
An extra player, but a different coloured uniform.
But great opportunity for the Dragons.
Great drive, split, and finish by Sampson. He's worked himself well into the game now. Didn't look confident at the start, but certainly playing that commanding role. We see a wide setup here.
And look at the top of the circle.
Great setup. Front game is working. Just needs to sight that post before a refeed, but
you can kind of see both Thunder defenders sort of like running straight back onto Hobson, like being the taller shooter. So it's allowing the space for Sampson to get through.
So South Australia break that. We'll have now 2 up on a West Coast centre pass. Holding that a long time, just releasing in time.
And they're all off ball side.
Struggling to get through here on the step on. Now they're through.
And it's about just being patient with it, throwing the ball and seeing what else is coming. So they need repeated efforts down there on attack. If they're not given the first ball, they must have something on the second of the pass.
Good challenge by Ashworth as that ball was called back out.
Kahotia is screening. They didn't sight it though.
Both defenders are ball side, so good positioning. As we see that ball swing, Ashworth was able to have a go, just a fraction late.
And I'd actually like to see Denham just really plant as a shooter and let the defenders dance around him, because he can just change his body angle with his shoulders. And then just at the last second open up and peel out with the footwork as well.
So here we see good backup by Nelson there.
You can see the really clear 1-2 land and the vision to just connect into the shooters. It's really pretty to watch.
Absolutely. So South Australia holding that break and centre pass. 12-10 up here with about just over 90 seconds to go.
More work needs to be done from the front line over the transverse line for the centre pass, and a held ball from Jack Davison. Again, it was almost like the panic, like couldn't find anything, little bit balk, and then the full pirouette around.
That's the last couple of plays there, as we see all plays on the sideline there, but we're opening the court up. No, back to the sideline. Now we're opening it up. Well done, good give and go there by Hay. the last couple of transitions through that ball, through that mid-court, WA have struggled. So South Australia have increased their intensity, and there's another centre pass broken. So 13-10 here with a minute to go.
A chance to extend this lead. I know Cartier almost get the intercept.
Heard a voice, Searle, and gave it without looking, but it was worked out for them. Taylor with that long arching silver... Oh, sorry, I stopped saying there. I thought I saw a collision there, but it was avoided. And again, that drive, fantastic finish.
Samson delivering for the Dragons today. He's got the hot hand right now. And nice timing from Goss to come out.
Oh, no talk. Oh, could have bubbled a bit. Gave Taylor a look at it. You don't want to give him a look at it.
And Denham demanding that ball at the backhand for the back space.
So here we go. Last 20 seconds of the game. 3 goals the difference. South Australia, can they convert this? Straight into Hobson. Bit of a long-range shot by Hobson standards. And as we see, not a comfortable position for Hobson.
And great rebound from Bayliss too as well. Oh, a bit of a... I thought it might have been a stepping call. So can get it down 2-1. Oh, missed opportunity. Goal scored after the buzzer, and that's the end of the first quarter here in the 23 and under division. South Australian Dragons currently leading 14-11 against the home state West Coast Thunder. Join us for the next 15 shortly after this. Welcome back to Bendat Stadium here on show court number 1. We have the 23 and under division. It's round 5, day 3 of the AMMNA National Championships. We have the home state West Coast Thunder currently trailing 11 goals to 14 against the Dragons from South Australia. My name is Mandy Love, and joining me today is Mark Gorham. Mark, thoughts on the first 15?
Yeah, I thought Western Australia kicked away really nicely there. I think they were a 4-1 goal up, but the Dragons upped their defensive pressure, certainly in that mid-court, and worked their way back in, and we saw sort of Will Sampson in goal attack certainly take a bit of control, show a bit of confidence, and that was receiving a lot of feeds from Saxon Hay, who's really dominant on that line, has seen South Australia work their way back into this contest.
And we see Daniel Perella coming on for the West Coast Thunder in that goal attack position in the second quarter. We thought we might see it, and we see a positional switch at the back end with Bayless and Moore going into the reverse roles there. And Will Winter coming on in wing defence as well. So a couple of defensive changes. So looking for a bit more height and maybe that hands over pressure.
So I'm very, very keen to see, as we see, that was contact on the ball. But very keen to see these two boys who have just come on court. So Daniel Perella mentioned before, have coached him, and Will Linter was in the 17s team who I coached against last year, and I believe was an Australian representative. Was teammates with Freddie Taylor, who's on court, and Jordan Dutram, who's yet to take the court yet, but on the bench. So some nice young talent. As we see, a fantastic intercept there off the centre pass. Just not getting enough on that. That was very close to held, but
it really was, and just pressure released by the obstruction call on the landing. And you'll notice that a lot of the 23s team for West Coast Thunder are wearing black armbands on the left arms today. That is in support of the Berryman family, who had a family member pass away through the week, in support of Boyd Berryman. He was our vice president of West Coast Thunder a few years ago, and also our treasurer. He is an ex-Open men's player. He also played in the men's reserves division, and he also coached a lot of these guys in the 23 and under division. At the last chance he coached was in Melbourne in 2019. So big show of support from the Thunder lads for the Berryman whānau at this sad point in time.
As we see South Australia going forward. Now, I'm really liking what Moore's doing. He was hedging there to float for that swing ball. The ball didn't go there, but he was certainly ready, and he got up. He's been getting up to those balls. So really, he's impressed me early.
I believe he has about a 65 centimetre vertical.
Awesome, because he's not overly big for a defender. However, you don't need to be if you've got to jump like that.
So he actually won the Jill McIntosh Award for the men's division last year at our WA Netball League. He was probably one of the premier defenders, winning the prestigious award. But he looks to bring that to the 23s campaign here this year.
Oh,
Sneaky pass, and Denham very acute to know that there was an option for him on circle edge should he fall out of court.
And goal scored. So that's the second one Perella's put into Denham under pressure. So just want to see Dan just take some patience there as we see the big feed in.
Landed awkwardly there, and there's that little drop pass as they tussle and bustle in there. And use of the leg getting the contact, and everyone in the crowd fully supportive of that call. We've
got a big crowd in on camera side, so this is obviously game 2 of the Bingham Cup, which we'll talk about shortly. But 15-all here. We see a change. I see a bib. Jordan Dutram looks like he's about to enter the game. He's putting on a bib.
Offensive contact from Hobson.
So Jordan Dutram standing side, about to go into centre.
A nice connection down the line with the wing attack punching the same lane. And Davis goes all the way across the other side of the court, so someone needs to punch forward. And fine circle. Oh, nicely played.
Well worked using the angles of the ball there. As we see Sell exit the game, Jordan Dutram in. So Jordan, another one of the boys I've coached, really keen to see him play step up in the 23s division. Only 17, is still eligible to be a 17 and under player. Eyes were down there by Taylor, and that ball went straight in.
Early release too, and WA hit the lead 17-15. Momentum has swung early in this second quarter with 4 minutes gone.
So credit to WA. They were certainly 3 goals down, and they've wrestled the momentum back here. Nice deep drive there by Dutram. Looks for the reset to get himself on the top of the circle.
And Sansom looks at the circle edge, and contact call against Winter.
Let's look at the South Australian setup here.
One pop, one post. Simple yet effective.
Yep. Just need to get that torque up in that circle to cut that by WA, but still, they're a centre pass ahead here, so 17-16.
And great stuff there from the wing attack.
That's Hay. He's also got a fantastic elevation. I won't quote a number because I don't know it, but certainly can get up on the ball.
And just drops it down to Davis, circle edge. Perella coming through. Probably a bit, he wasn't quite prepared to receive that pass.
Probably just came in a bit quick.
Good hands over pressure here. One-on-one defensive pressure, but just caught with the inside arm. Linter just clarifying. So look at the setup from the Dragons here. And again, someone's got to get up on Sampson, because he's just going to shoot the lights out as he does, bringing it back to an even pegging. So 17 apiece here in the second quarter. Oh, Bayless just adjusting his bib. Oh, someone's gone down in back play.
That would be Jordan Dutram. He's all right. Hits the deck a bit, Geordie, but he gets up. He's good. And there's that front option again. It's a simple game sometimes, isn't it?
I mean, if they're going to double team Hobson, they really, they need to attack something, because they're just gifting Sampson that space around the circle edge.
WA getting out on that centre pass a bit too easy. There was a bit of pointing going on.
Nice little shooter-to-shooter connection and good airtime.
And Perella gets himself on the board. 18-all. We have got the game we expected here.
And good coverage on first phase. It was just that second connection. And again, Sampson direct in front.
A contact call.
So I think it's right underneath the post. Maybe for a trailing arm, maybe against Hobson.
Yeah. And we see the game reset here. Perella gets out. Not a lot of depth to give on that second phase, so it goes back.
And that's due to the great sort of wall setup that the Dragons put up, whether or not it was intended or not. Might have just been that firm one-on-one, but everyone was on the other side of the attackers. So great job defensively here. And here's the screen set, and nicely weighted pass, mid-range. Oh, Perella had a bit of a curve on there and just swished through the net. And Declan Mensing comes on for wing defence and for the West Coast Thunder. So obviously identifying that Hay is someone that needs to be contained as he hits circle edge. That's a great drive and feed.
Just falling short on the shot there, Bailey, but he converts on the second attempt. So this, as we enter the halfway point of this second quarter, so Bingham Cup action here. This is game 2 of the decider, which decides the overall winner. Game 1 yesterday was the Open Men's game, with West Coast Thunder getting a commanding win over the Southern Dragons.
And as we go the Thunder way. Yes, the Open Men's did have a convincing win, although that first quarter was neck at neck, so that only until the second quarter that they really sort of had those unforced errors in the Opens division. So it sets up this game quite nicely for the 23s. If the 23s for the Dragons do get up today, it will go on goal percentage, so they must beat the score from the Opens in order to sort of equalise the Bingham Cup.
They'd want to put their foot down pretty quickly if they want to get close to that, I'd imagine.
And great ball placement into Hobson.
Oh. Now, when your shooter's that close, you've just got to put it up, and not expecting that shooter to shoot a pass. Sampson, it was a turnover, so costly. Can they convert?
Oh, I wish he would connect down that far side. He was asking for it. So here's where they get stuck in the middle of this zone. Long
one in. Risky ball in, but it works.
I don't think that would have impressed Coach Trina.
No, I was just about to ask you. Thoughts on that one? Yep. So, Mandy, tell us about the coaching staff of West Coast Thunder.
So in the 23s team, we've got Patrina Pahi as the lead coach and Lynette Gay, who are both formidable coaches in their own right. Patrina Pahi has been with Lorraine Ward in the Opens division for at least 5 years, and they work together at West Coast Warriors Club here in the West. She's been coaching for a number of years and has her hand in a lot of the development of the players here. Lynette Gay also, she is a part of the Western Raw Club. She was involved with the Open Men's team, who have been successful, making finals these last couple of years. Also competing against West Coast Warriors. They're primarily the two main clubs here in the West. But Lynette Gay has a lot to do with boys netball up in her association, which is Kalamunda District Netball Association. They have their own boys competition up there, so great things happening up the hill at KDNA.
As we see Ashworth leaving the circle and getting a touch on that. Just feeling West Coast have got a bit of momentum here. Oh,
waited for a call too. Very lucky before the Thunder shooters. They need to be aggressive on each and every take. Nothing will be gifted to them in terms of umpire calls. And Max Denham gets another goal in for the Thunder team.
So we're calling for calling for a back line there, a backdoor centre pass there. That was a good tell. And puts that one in Dutram. Good vision of the post to Hobson. Just off his shot, Hobson at the moment.
And Bayless so strong on those rebounds. He's taken a couple of those today. And good long connection down court. Denham in front position, swings it around. Has to kick it out to Davis. Working front position. What can they do here? Perella. Will he offload? Yes, he does. Just balances himself before taking the goal. And, you know, the Thunder lads have taken it out to a 3-goal lead now in this second quarter.
It's going to be a game of momentum, and we're seeing yet another shift. What can the Dragons do to respond in these last 4 minutes?
Nice middle channel drive from Daniel Perella and just siding Denham early.
Not afraid to let the ball go either.
Because he saw that he was on a one-on-one, so he saw that opportunity and took it.
So we see Hay, who's been dominant on that line. Well done by Dutram to drive that, give and go. Now Sampson working overtime in there.
What can they do here, the Dragons? They need to try a critical moment for them if they want to stay within reach.
The Thunder smothering. Oh,
the control from Sampson.
And the shot.
Great shot by Sampson. I'd like to see one of the defenders, even if they just jump vertically, just enough just to try and sort of worry him a little bit. Oh,
there it is again. We need to... That's too many, I'd say. That's the same play multiple times.
Eyes down.
Eyes are down. The players need to respond to that. That just can't happen.
Great touch from Declan Mensing. He will hustle all day long in his favourite position of wing defence. He's a real sort of shutdown wing defence tight one-on-one worker.
As we see a positional change here. So Captain Ethan Ashworth comes to the bench. Kyle Glasbrook comes into goalkeeper. So Kyle, part of this 23s team in 2019. And a teammate of mine back home for the Central Werewolves in our South Australian Men's League. So will that offer something different? We'll wait and see.
Well, he's a stronger body type, like looking at him from up here. He offers something different. He's physically imposing, isn't he?
And straight away, pressure over that shot, put that shot off. Unfortunately, didn't get the rebound. So, the call did go that way. That's
got to get on defense, though. Can't sort of sit here and rue the moment. Got to just continue on. And Bayless flying through court. I like the attempt, though.
So straight away, Glasbrook affecting the shot and having impact. Coach Kirsty Leonard Down will be happy with that.
If Thunder were smart, they would contact now to just allow enough time for both defenders to return to the circle. And someone's got to take that front. You know it's coming, Sampson. He is smooth on that shot today.
Really enjoyed watching Will Sampson develop over the last 12 months, playing in our sort of M League. Like I said before, country boy come down. Not a lot of netball, I think, going on out in the country, so good for him to play. Well, there is, but not for men. So good for him to get that experience. We see Taylor Hayes. Really well placed by Hay. We do know those defenders have got hops. And
put it in the exact perfect position. And here's the momentum shift. So the Dragons pull back 2 goals. They'll be looking to try and get a stop here. Loopy pass. And Denham sights Goss. Both shooters behind, but they look for a screen set up. Backspace for Denham. Turns to post and settles. The Thunder extends it out to a 2-goal lead.
So last minute of play here, 2 goals to West Coast Thunder as we see Hobson leaving the circle, or puts that at Dutram's feet. Well controlled, ball went up and...
Bayless got a touch to it, so great work defensively. They need to stay in play here now, so no easy penalties. Oh, that's a penalty if I ever saw one. So advantage played for the contact and obstruction on the landing. So they just need to be a bit more disciplined to show the adjustment to the 3-foot. 30 seconds here. What do? They find Davis. They've got the double team sort of floating.
They've gone into a split, South Australia.
Oh, miscommunication between Mensing and Goss.
So 15 seconds, bit of urgency needed as we see Nelson get the ball.
Oh, great work. Is there a shooter in there? 6 seconds, must balance. Offloads, plenty of time. Great job from the West Australians as they close out the second quarter to finish 28 plays 26 against the South Australian Dragons. Mark, what a game of netball we have on our hands. Who do you think comes out on top?
Flip a coin. We know that this matchup traditionally is a few goal game. So we've seen, I think, 4 momentum changes already. I would like to say South Australia, but that might be my personal bias. But very, very intrigued to see what happens in this second half. So we'll be back. Please stay tuned.
Having a pretty good season this year, Andy.
By the look of this lot, you are too.
Well, we've got a good team out in the field. You want to go meet them?
Sure. So what do you grow here?
We've got broccolis, collies over there, carrots, you name it. We harvest it today, catch, and it's in the stores tomorrow.
So you guys are the midfielders of the fruit and veg?
At Spot Shed, we grow it.
We sell it, you save.
Giving this season everything we've got. Just try and stop us. Don't miss the excitement of West Coast Fever at RAC Arena. Tickets on sale now at ticketek.com.au. Giving this season everything we've got. Just try and stop us. Don't miss the excitement of West Coast Fever at RAC Arena. Tickets on sale now at ticketek.com.au.
Welcome back to the live coverage here, courtesy of Clutch TV. We've got round 5, the 23 and under division, tightly contested match for the Bingham Cup between West Coast Thunder and the South Australian Dragons. My name is Mandy Love. Joining me is SA's very own Mark Gorham. Mark, talk to me about the first half and what we're seeing out on court today.
We're seeing a lot of momentum changes, absolutely, and I feel like the defensive pressure is what is going to win this game, because when one team ups it, it seems that's what skews the momentum. So looking forward to seeing how this pans out. We are approaching not quite the halfway mark of the tournament, but we are getting on. So intrigued to see how fatigue impacts players here as well.
I like to call day 3 and 4 like the grind of the tournament. Like, this is where the big players really step up in these moments when they come under that sort of day 3-4 fatigue.
Absolutely. So we've got a positional swap here as I just look out. So Saxon Hay has moved from wing attack to centre and swapped with Jordan Dutram, who is in now wing attack. I'd say that's Jordan's more natural position, certainly a position he played a lot of last year, as we see.
We see a positional swap too. So we saw Will Linter in wing defence earlier on in the game. He now rotates out into wing attack. He's actually a goal shooter. He's a goal attack goal shooter.
Yeah, I remember him from last year, absolutely.
So he's opted to sort of switch, or like be a floater or almost a rotational player amongst all the 7 positions if needed. And he'll offer something nice and some nice height on the line against the reach of the Dragons defenders. And came out for a fly too.
Well done, great pressure by Taylor there.
Yeah, great win.
So is this an SA?
SA momentum swing? It might be. So they play it back to the transverse line. And Hay with the ball in hand. Oh, what more coming through with the goods.
He has been a key in switching the momentum with his touches that he's getting and his influence over the ball here. So,
and Will Linter, nicely weighted pass in the front space. Oh, the lift.
The lift.
Love to see something different in the netball world here. Tried in the 23 and under division.
Freddie's so nimble. It's the person to lift, so I like that. I like that. Oh, we see that long one in, and it still works.
Yeah, look, I'm not a huge fan of it. I think the first one we got lucky, and then the second one they kind of switched on. Now I'd be asking for the extra pass to circle edge, to be fair.
Absolutely. So we're out to 4 goals here as we see Dutram double back. Not a lot of depth there on that drive, but well done by Hay as we see more flying for that ball. Just a split second late with his timing. That'll certainly make the mid-quarters think when they hear footsteps behind. And we see Sampson, who continues to be South Australia's target in that circle. 30-27 here, West Coast centre pass.
Have to go back to go forward. Will Linter centres the play. And just a direct pass into Denham. Drops it off. That's some nice work done from the goal defence. That Taylor? Was it offside?
Yes. Taylor, and now we've got a offensive contact. That'll see 2 of them out of play. So let's see if we can drive this ball out. Lovely give and go by Taylor through. Does love a give and go on transition. Risky, puts Hay under pressure, but good enough to get 2 hands on and draw the contact call. Top of the circle here.
And both of those athletes having nothing but eyes for the ball in that instance.
Having to swing and use a triangle. It was on.
And Bayless goes up. Hobson steadies underneath the goal post, so they get a break back with the centre pass to follow. Here's the mini momentum in favour of the Dragons.
Oh, but as we say that, offensive contact there.
Sometimes a little bit late for these calls that we're not quite sure what it is. And then when it swings the other way, it's a little bit confusing for those on court. Oh, had the front option available, went long.
Risky going over Taylor, but it paid off. So converting a Southern Dragons centre pass, 31-28 to the West Coast Fever.
And good second phase from Daniel Perella. Better centre pass movement. They're playing very nicely together. So you see the lift again. So those watching at home, the goalkeepers actually, as the GD jumps up vertically, they're getting assisted by holding onto the shorts and lifting them in the air, similar to a rugby line-out lift from the locks. And it's just to give that defender an extra bit of height on the vertical.
It's fun when it works, but
yes.
How often does it work? Occasionally.
You've got to get the timing right.
Yes, you
probably
do.
More along those like mid to long range shots is probably the better time to do it.
Yeah.
And Hobson strong.
Must be stronger with the hands, but Dutram will always look at the post, and if he sees it, he will give it. So good to see that happening.
And again, you see he's planted now, but he was starting to move his feet a little bit. So it's allowing the defenders to get that hustle around his body.
Sampson continues to shoot.
And I wonder if Hobson is purposely staying in towards the post in order for Sampson to run the arc and give him that space inside the shooting circle. Yep. Nice little connection between Mensing and Davis. They're teammates in the WA Netball League.
You can tell with that little play, that was quite slick.
And looks like Perella will line up. Oh no, offloads. Drops it off. And nice and strong. And Max Denham makes them pay.
So Hay to restart here.
The defence needs to follow the Dragons out. I don't know if they're just instantly dropping into that box-like formation that we see here.
Yeah.
Or if it was just a flat attempt at a one-on-one.
Contact call there.
So looking at the data atmosphere, and that's Wade Moore having a crack at it. Had the control not to sort of attempt it, and he comes through now and gets the call as well. Really happy with that call. He did all the work, telling his teammates, no, come forward, don't drop back too soon.
And for mine, it might be time for a change in that goal shooter position. And to see some people warming up there. But I feel like there is a bit of a change there. It's getting a bit one-dimensional there. And unfortunately, a lot of the volume's going through the goal attack. So I feel like we need maybe a bit more there. As I do see, now it's not an attack change, but Ashworth... Captain Ethan Ashworth has got goal defence. Now, I reckon he's going to replace Freddie Taylor, and it wouldn't surprise me if we see a goal shooter bib on Freddie Taylor shortly. Just a prediction.
I wouldn't mind seeing, to see like Sampson in goal shooter, just to give him something different in terms of like tidy up more with the speed and the agility. You know, what can that do? And they just spill the ball over the sidelines here. So Thunder gets another opportunity.
This is a crucial moment, I feel, just with body language and whatnot. So it's out to 6, which is the biggest lead of the game. Dragons must hold on here and stem this flow. We know that there's going to be momentum switches. There always is, and that's slick shooter-to-shooter pass. As a shooter, I will say that's good to watch.
And I think there's a really good tactical awareness by the coaching staff from West Coast Thunder to make the positional switches they have at half-time. I just wanted you to talk to me about the Dragons coaching staff, because they have a very successful coaching history within your state. Tell us about it.
Absolutely. So our head coach here, Kirsty Leonard Down, joins us from the Garville Netball Club as their Premier League coach, and her assistant Jake Taylor is also assisting her at the AMMNA Championships in this 23s division. So Kirsty's had quite a lot of success in the 17s and 19s division for the girls nationals. 2 or 3 gold medals, I believe, across those grades. So quite a fair bit of success. As we see
another
turnover, this change needs to happen. So we see that. So yeah, a lot of respect. Very well respected coach. Has immersed herself in, I guess, the boys and the men in the last 18-24 months. So is a really good pickup for the South Australian Men's and Mixed Netball Association.
What a great coach to have, just to be able to pick the knowledge from her, as she says. You know, they really have had a golden era in the 17s and 19s and the girls. Yeah. As you know, they're currently competing up in their nationals up in Darwin this week. So good luck to both teams.
All of a sudden, this lead has ballooned out to 9 on a West Coast centre pass.
Oh, very fortunate not to get the replay call on that.
As we see Perella, they're just patiently making their way.
Oh, nice read from the goalkeeper. He's just come on too.
Well done by Glasbrook to get that one back.
Yep, and he's just asked if they can wipe the floor. Took a bit of a dive.
And right on cue. Goal shooter bib coming onto Freddie Taylor, who's about to step into the substitution box. So I think what we'll see there is we'll see a little bit more movement. He can play tall, he can hold. Is a beautiful shot. Just a really lovely, skilled and natural player. And what a luxury to have someone like that who can swing both ends.
And I think he will match up very nicely against the West Coast Thunder goalkeeper Wade Moore. I think Wade Moore would really need to sort of take a look at, contain him first before going out on the hedge.
Good depth there by Dutram.
Oh, and Hobson just found the body really nicely and went into that backspace. Of course, that happens. He does a beautiful movement and then he gets pulled from the court.
And here he goes now. So Taylor now on the court, just out of screen, I believe. So expect to see that. I'm looking forward to this. I would have loved to, when I coached Freddie last year, put him in goals. Unfortunately, we just needed him in defence, but certainly...
And again, great. Asking for backspace.
Glasbrook has had an impact, so that's 2 or 3 touches as a keeper. You'd be happy with that. He's contesting 2 or 3 touches. He's come on and done his job. I'm intrigued to see how Ashworth goes in goal defence. So he does play it on a Monday night in his M-League, South Australian M-League team. So there's the movement. Dutram, unfortunately, not siding, turning for a reset.
And looks like Goss is in at centre for the Thunder. And he comes with a really big arm span as well. Great shot from Sampson. Oh, no, that's
Taylor.
That's Taylor.
Yep. So can shoot. Is lovely and silky on his movement.
Absolutely. This game's just starting to heat up now. Oh, gets himself close to the goal. That's 2 in a row.
An immediate impact. So we're back to 5. I feel like not that long ago we were talking about a 9-goal, possibly 10-goal lead. It's now back to 5. So here we go. There's that long ball.
And Denham so safe with his hands. Probably not the best placed pass, but he made it look good. He would want probably an easier pass to catch.
Great siding there.
Yes.
Well done.
Saw that Moore had come out. Footwork call, though. Very unlucky for the Dragons. I thought that would have been a huge momentum shift as well. Oh, running through, gets himself offside, though. Right intention.
Now let's see what structure they go with here, what setup they've got on a penalty.
And again, the 2-on-1.
And Perella's not scared to put that in. I'd just like to see maybe a fake or something, but not afraid to put that in. I mean, it's worked so far. They've all hit their target, but he's putting that shooter under a lot of pressure.
But you sort of have your heart, your sort of...
Yeah.
It's just really like holding your breath moment, really, every time it goes to him, because you just don't know. It's a 50-50. Yeah, I like this change, this positional swap here for the Dragons. What I really enjoyed about this match so far, it's been a very tidy game by both teams.
Yeah. Absolutely. I want to talk about the Southern Dragons wing defence. So Nelson, haven't called his name a lot, and that's probably not a bad thing as a wing defence, but just goes about his thing quietly. Really, really happy to see him run, and I've seen he's run quite a few games out this way. So just want to acknowledge him and sort of the work on a personal level that I know he's looked to improve his game as of late. As Sampson a little bit unsure, but backs himself and scores. So 5 goals the difference here.
And you're absolutely right. He's obviously doing everything just to stay in play, just to be a nuisance for that Thunder front end, because they are winning ball.
And there we see that long bomb going in. There was a tip on it, so hands over. And again, Glasbrook has won another ball, a 50-50 ball. So certainly that move for Glasbrook into keeper is proving effective. Oh, lucky to get that one.
Sneaky pass too. Missed the shot there, Bayless.
Just want to see if Taylor follow that. He has got the jumps to get up for those rebounds, but just out of position, and that was a bit late.
Play continues. Just the court balance now. It's just tidied up now. Offside call. And the contact to boot. Oh, great feed. Had the run up to that, and Denham gets another goal to add to his tally, and the ball spills onto court. It is from the 23 and under division as well, so we see sort of New South and Tassie battle it out on the court number 2 today.
And if there is anyone watching that game, the score is 35-23. I know I've heard quite a few people at home that where there's been a game they want to watch on court 2, they watch this live stream and hope they can get glimpses. So in the event there is someone out there doing that, 35-23. I think it's in New South Wales way.
And Bayless doing a really good job working around the body, has a fly, and beautiful placed pass.
Using that backspace well. Double jump. So 5. They're just staying in touch here, the Dragons. WA were able to push that one out, but it's not. They've certainly done their best to stay within it, and they have. But we see that another high, long ball in.
And what I really enjoy about the goalkeeper is he's just steady, make sure he gets his distance, and he's just strong hands over pressure over the shot.
And I think that long ball, the hands over is really front position and hands over, so the pressure's got to be coming from that mid-court. So Ethan in goal defence, because a lot of those feeds are coming from the goal attack, must get his hands over, block the vision. Oh, a lovely double jump, puts off the shot completely. And we see that spill over the goal line for a turnover. So as we approach the last minute here, 6 goals the difference. This is a Southern Dragons centre pass. Important one here, because if West Coast can score it and convert it, as we see Hay intercepting.
He's done very well for South Australia today. I've really enjoyed watching him play.
Another one of our pathway athletes that sort of started in the 17s, and I think 2019 was his debut as a young little 15-year-old, and he's not so little anymore. And certainly another one that's gone from strength to strength. Switching of the arms, just obstructing there. So 37 seconds, this is critical here. So if West Coast are able to convert, it takes it out to 8.
And they've got the double team. Allows Denham to work his way to post.
And good baseline drive. The bench are up on that one.
Yeah, they're going to be excluding that here on the crowd if it goes through the hoop, and they do. More than enough time. They're going to go long early, I think, on this call.
Very wide on that centre pass.
And gets the call as well.
Taylor not arguing, so maybe to deflect off him after all. And that is time here. So as we take a break, it is West Coast Thunder 44 leading the Southern Dragons 36. 8-goal difference. Don't go anywhere. We know this game's full of momentum swings. What's the last quarter got for us?
Welcome back to Bendat Stadium. We've got a last quarter that's going to be thrilling for either side. We've got West Coast Thunder currently leading 44-36 against the South Australian Dragons. My name is Mandy Love. Mark, who's going to get out on top in this final 15? We know the momentum will swing.
Southern Dragons need to make an impact straight away. It's 8 goals, so they don't have to get all 8 on. And here it is with a held ball. The 8 goals don't need to be scored in 3 minutes. They've got 15 to work their way back, but certainly making a statement at the start would be helpful.
A new wing defence for the Dragons, so I'm pretty sure he was in the circle earlier.
Yeah, so that's Glasbrook, who's moved out to wing defence. Has played it occasionally, more of a circle defender, but has moved out there, obviously looking to put some body on the wing attack there. We see Searle go back into goalkeeper. So I feel like Jacob Searle, deceptively tall and has got elevation. So perhaps a plan by the coaches to eliminate that long high ball and to compete in the air.
And getting that tall bodies and physical bodies up front just to get that hard hands-over pressure.
Yeah, so Jacob Searle is probably the defender. As we see Dutrum take that ball strongly, well done. Yeah, Jacob Searle's probably there for essentially that elevation, that long ball in, which has seemed to be a concern for the Dragons. So see how that impacts.
It's a great goal by Freddie Taylor to start the fourth quarter. And South Australia storming the centre pass.
So that was a good start by South Australia. Western Australia setting up a screen and then double teaming the screen setter. So both players well covered. We're seeing a contact call here.
It's a footwork call.
Footwork.
That was a really late call.
Oh no, throwing that one away. Miscommunication there. Unfortunately, they're the moments you've got to convert.
So needs to have an option to the ball. And finds Jack Davis easy on the front. No one coming through. Good deflection from Hay. And you see them just encroaching on each other's space. So you want to get that width. And here we go with Mensing's just opening out. And just, Goss.
Able to control that one. And there's that one in. That's what Jacob's in there for. Unfortunately, just getting his hips the wrong way round. Not quite adjusting. And missed shot by Perella, but great rebound. And
Denham
converts.
gets up. You almost sort of saw Perella out-muscle in the initial take.
Must stay strong.
And good hands over pressure. Bayless plucked out of the air. And, another late call. I thought that was a very lucky call.
I felt it was there. It was just like, I felt it was there.
And just the boards. Corey Goss trying to fix the boards. Okay, get back on court, mate. We need you. Let them sort it out. And again, looking for the backspace. Good box defense from the Dragons. And that was nicely set up by the guys in front of him as well.
Need to get off this sideline. There it is. Hay opens it up. Well done.
And he steps into the body of Davis.
Love.
And Bayless gets another touch to it. He's really impressed me. He's starting to come into this match now.
The two defenders for Western Australia have been very strong.
Got to get around that. Samson double jump.
Unfortunately, touching the ball there. Just got to be careful of that.
Just got to be that discipline over that. He's got the hog, but he's got to stay in play.
So down to 6. So they've broken one of the centre passes back, but looking for another one now.
Probably struggling connecting that second phase down court. No one's got it. Davis runs it. Offensive contact? No.
Now that was a 50-50.
That was a 50-50. And, look, from here, it could have gone either way, to be fair.
I agree. There it is, and that's why Jacob Searle is in there. That elevation, unfortunately, great backup by the wing attack.
The athleticism from Goss has really kept the Thunder front line in this game. As we see,
don't touch it. I think the call there was diving on the ball. I don't know if he took possession of it. So I suppose it's the action, isn't it?
And again, just to keep running their feet through. It's gotten scrappy at the moment, so we just need a settler from both seams.
This is one of those moments. Who's going to take control?
Good defensive pressure from Daniel Perella. And Mensing called for the contact. Plays on quickly. Bayless gets involved. Out of play. Who holds their nerve in these critical moments? Good shot from Sampson. He's been critical in this Dragons front line. I think, we're expecting big things from him in this quarter.
You see, there's the depth on that. And the drive by Fred. Can he get front? No. Dutram resets.
Great defensive work from Jack Davis.
Both shooters out there and just made the space confusing for the feeder in Dutram.
And nice front positioning from Perella. Critical shot, loves it, keeps the arm up like a basketballer. Now it's time to work.
I'll have a word to him about that, Dan. This game is not over yet.
He's a very confident player. Great defense from Hay. And we see sideline thrown from Bayless. They don't have anyone running to the ball. And it's snuffled. Mensing finds Taylor.
It's Freddie.
And it was a replay ball, didn't touch the hoop. And, sort of see Bayless sort of flinching a little bit. Don't know if something's happening with the back there. Doesn't look like he's comfortable out in that goal D role.
If a change was to be made, is there any who's on the bench there that can play that role?
Look, Will Winter can. He has been running in the Circle D as a crossover. You've also got Josh Vladika. but he is also recovering from a sort of a really bad ankle injury. So he had about 6 weeks before Nationals to get himself right, and he got the clearance literally the weekend before Nationals hit. So
we see that play, Searle just missing that, but contesting well, and then a cheeky little pass off the post.
You know, might have been taking a play out of Jerome Gilbard's book from the Open Men's in the West Coast Thunder team.
I love the pull off the post.
Brilliant read, critical moment. Who answers the call? Vice captain Wade Moore.
And he's had a ripper game. So as we see, Thunder flying through. Is that one in? Oh, talk boys, and they've got it. So that move has impacted about that long one in. That one's way too long, unfortunately. Just came from way too low, so the trajectory of the ball was going too high by the time it got to Taylor on the baseline. So we see a Thunder throw in.
And again, it's about composure in these big moments. Who steadies? You know, we just have to go back to playing simple netball again, despite the adrenaline running. So it's about being able to self-regulate emotionally as a player on court. And that one just rolls around the circle, and they sort of give each other a bit of a low five for their efforts. So out to 8.
The Thunder's use of that middle corridor, especially in the middle third and on transition.
Better ball. You know, they worked that second face ball towards circle edge, and they were able to get a cleaner pass into Denham.
Searle received some coaching advice about hands up, I believe.
And held ball.
So this could be the straw that breaks the camel's back here.
And here's Will Linter back on court in that wing attack role. So really being a role maker in this team, just sort of relieving minutes as well, but also having a great impact when he is on court in either position.
And it looks like we've got a positional change here. Taylor coming off and Hodson returning to goal shooter. So
drops it off to Linter, balks it, and goes long to Denham, driving through the baseline.
The score's now blown out, 51-40, 6 minutes to go. All could take by Dutram.
Oh, great hands from Will Linter.
Needs to release the ball and get depth over that line. We've now got both shooters out the circle. So Bailey now needs to...
And I don't mind that when that happens, just to create the space. It's about what they do in terms of, the shot from Sampson. He has been wonderful today.
Has been impressive.
So we had the best on ground medals awarded yesterday in the Opens division. Who from South Australia has impressed you?
I don't think you can go past Saxon Hay, who started in wing attack and was really dominant in that wing attack position. Needed a positional swap, as we see a turnover here, so South Australia's moment. But Saxon Hay's been good. He's been an outlet for them through that middle third. Drives hard, strong takes, and as we see, re-offers, has the smarts to know. And I just feel he's played a very important role. How about yourself for Western Australia? Who do you see as best on court? Not that we're picking them for those at home. Some people did ask me after the Open Men's team, did we pick them? No, we did not. We are just giving an opinion.
Look, I think the obvious choice, who's been, like, you see most often, we've been talking about Wade Moore all game. However, for me, it's Bayless in goal defence. I think he's just been this quiet achiever down this defensive end, really strong on the rebounds and, like, transitioning the ball down through court to connect to their front line. So I'm really excited to see who is selected. And, and we'll go through there again. And as we have it, so Thunder will have an opportunity. So ball on the transverse line from Declan Mensing. And Davis getting on circle edge. Oh, great defensive work from Hay. We just spoke of him. His work rate has been second to none for the Dragons here, looking for the screen. Oh, and it was dictated. They'll get another opportunity. Denham at the post, delivers.
And we see another positional change here. As exchanged some words with Dylan McPherson to clarify a couple of things about our medalists. We see Freddie Taylor back, so into wing defence. So bibs are flying a bit like confetti, as it seems like, that's that 10-goal margin with a few minutes. Just trying
to find
things,
a response.
trying something, and naturally that's what you do.
Oh, great shot from Sampson.
He's been strong. Saxon Hay, I believe, I think he's our best on court, South Australia's best on court. But Sampson's worked himself into the game well and has been just a constant, reliable
Great
shot.
defence too. So that's a new defensive pairing in there in the circle as well, isn't it? Because it's been switched.
So we've got Ashworth and Searle. So that switch happened at three-quarter time, I believe. Good take, nice strong take.
And footwork call. Asked about the contact. That was unfortunate. I thought, he probably had a case there. You completely agree.
Yes.
You're such a goaler.
I was saying nice strong take, and he grabbed it with two hands, and anyway. That's why we're up here and not in white. There's that long one, and
again,
nice tip by Ashworth.
It's that backspace ball. Someone's just got to pop forward. And the ball spills out across to the other court. So just want to shout out to our sponsors today who's supporting the AMMNA Championships, which is Blade in WA, Great Temptation Sweet Treats, Spudshed, West Coast Fever, and Netball WA. We've got 2 minutes 30 left on the clock. Denham with a strong take, mid-range shot. And nothing but net again from Denham here. Really putting his case forward for the West Coast Thunder, wanting to get their hands on the Bingham Cup again. And Perella just stops and props. Great defense on the shot. I think he got a touch to it. Denham collects himself, slots another goal. So that's 54 plays 43, so 9-goal margin in favour of the boys from the West.
And it's blowing out a bit, isn't it? We knew it was contested. It's had its momentum changes. Oh, lovely awareness there by Hay to land in court, turn his body in the air and deliver that one as the keeper came out hunting. So we've got a 10-goal margin. Probably not quite a true reflection of the game. I felt like it's been a bit closer, but nonetheless, lovely double back. Stop and drop.
Yep, stopped and dropped. Took him for a journey and just dropped him off. And we see Danny Perella coming off. He's had some really solid minutes in that goal attack role. Jaden Kahotia coming on. And intercept by the Thunder defenders. Oh, Kahotia going direct to Denham. And Mensing coming off, looks like Vladika coming on. Looks like a host of changes. So Colin, goalkeeper, and Josh Vladika in that wing defence.
A lot of changes. Obviously, coaches want to justify the ice baths after the game and saying, you hit the court so everyone recovers.
And be a part of the success too. Like, it's a full team success.
Everyone plays their role.
Absolutely. Even if you do or do not take the court, your role is vital on that bench to support and get your team up and about in that positive mindset. So last minute of play here.
It's out to 13. Struggling for options there.
And we see some delayed deny footwork here by Vladika. He's doing a really good job. Just restricting the momentum to the circle edge. So there's nothing really on here for the South Australians. Oh, here we go, finding Hay in the pink shoes and connects with Sampson. They've had a beautiful connection all game, and I expect to see more of that throughout the championships.
Well done to work their way through that. So as we count down the last 10 seconds, as we see that long one.
Oh, literally snatched out of the air by Denham.
And that takes us to 58-45. That'll be all she wrote today. West Coast, congratulations. 13 goal winners and Game 2 winners of the Bingham Cup.
And, a really quite high-scoring match, 58-45, considering we had 60 minutes of netball. So it was down to the defensive pressure from both sides, just sort of slightly wearing off towards that sort of third and fourth quarter for the South Australian Dragons today. But what a great matchup we have here today. We have an award ceremony soon to do best on ground, which will be done by probably the president of the West Coast Thunder, Jerome Gilbard. So hopefully our picks might get a win. Not too sure, but thank you very much for staying tuned with us here. The next game up on Show Court 1 here today is the men's reserve. Sorry, excuse me, it's the men's open. No, it's not. We are on Tuesday. And Tuesday we'll have the mixed reserve Tasmania versus South Australia. So stay tuned for this next game after this.
Teams still. We're excited to name the 2300 medal after them, and I'm really proud to announce the winner for this year is Dan Barella. Thanks everyone and good luck for the rest of the tournament. And can I just have the captains of WA